from Arden University, and I'm joined today by Matt Cooper, who is our Director of Business, Technology and Graphic Design Programmes, and he's going to answer a few of your questions about the MBA. So Matt, the first question is, why choose to study an MBA?
Right, I guess, well, it's kind of a bit of a catch-all answer for postgraduate study. When you come to an interview these days, increasingly more and more people will have an undergraduate degree. So you need something that makes you a bit different from the person sitting next to you in that interview waiting room. By getting an MBA, you'll demonstrate that you have the ability to understand what theories support your decisions and support other management processes.
What kind of career can an MBA prepare me for?
This is an easy one. Pretty much anything. Yeah, that sounds a bit of a rubbishy answer, I guess, but the reality is that a general MBA, a Masters of Business Administration, will help you in any kind of management or supervisory position. It will allow you to see, as I kind of touched on at the start of this, it will allow you to see the theories that support the decisions and processes that you have to deal with every day. So it really allows you to underpin everything you do and not make it up as you go along.
Do I need work experience, or will you accept graduates straight from university?
Okay, on any other of the Arden MAs or MSCs, you can come straight on to those programs without any work experience. The nature of an MBA is that you need to be able to apply theory to reality to your experiences. So you do need 2 years of experience to come onto the program. That experience needs to be, as we say, management or supervisory. That doesn't necessarily mean that you must have had the word supervisor or management in the title, or manager in the title. What it means is you must have been or had something to do with one of the management functions. So you could have been in charge of a budget. You could have had something to do with the recruitment process, that kind of thing. So just because you don't have the word management or supervisor in your title doesn't mean that you would be exempt from studying, or excluded from studying rather. It's worth contacting our admissions team to have that conversation.
What kind of person is a typical MBA student?
An MBA student, I would say, would be one of our higher performing students. They are driven, they're motivated, so they have work experience, they are happy to ask questions and they're happy to listen to the answers. Also, they're not shy about talking to their peers, because it's a fundamental part of MBA study is learning from your peers, because they will work in different sectors, have different jobs. So you can find out what other people would do in that situation, and that will help you build your own bank of personal knowledge with regard to management.
Great. And final question, what's the difference between an MBA and an MBA Finance?
Okay, before I specifically answer that, I'll be a good politician, I'll just tell you about the nature of our MBA and then explain how the MBA Finance is different. Our MBA was set up when I was asked to design it. We started with a blank piece of paper. We looked to see what other people were doing, and at that point it would have been very much an easy option just to replicate that. And what most people do is they take a siloed approach. So they look at each of the 6 management functions, they do them one after each other. So they start with, for example, HR, then move to marketing, then move to finance. And most students, and I was one of them, will learn a subject, and when they pass it, they'll kind of throw it over their shoulder, forget all that information, and move on to the next one. When I contacted our alumni, I think I said 300 of our alumni, one of the recurring themes that came from them is they wanted to see the interconnectedness of those management functions, so how they all joined up. I think on previous videos I've talked about each of the management subjects is a bucket of water poured into a bath, and then you blend it all together and you get management from that. So what we did is we took a change process and we identified 6 points on that process, and at each of those points we considered all of the management functions. So to a greater or lesser degree, in a greater or lesser proportion, we looked at finance at each of those 6 stages, marketing at each of those 6 stages, HR at each of those 6 stages, operations, etc., each of those 6 stages, from a slightly different context. So, for example, if you were creating a marketing plan, you'd be able to see how finance drives that and how you need to have a financial awareness, and you'd also gain an appreciation for how you need to staff and recruit specialist staff to help support that marketing plan. So that's the kind of cross-cutting nature of what I'm talking about. So that's how we design the MBA. For the MBA Finance, we maintain, of those first 6 modules, what we've done is we've maintained 4 of them. And we've identified 2 of them which had quite a strong financial input, a strong financial slant. And we took those out and we replaced them with purely financial modules. Okay, so you have 4 cross-cutting and 2 financial. Now, the dissertation or research project on both of those products is exactly the same. The research project. So, if you're a student that gets a merit or above for the first 6 modules of your program, then you are allowed to attempt to write the journal article. So instead of writing a 15,000 word thesis, you can write a 5,000 word journal article, and we'll mentor you and support you through that. 5,000 words isn't any easier than 15,000 words. It's actually far more challenging because that text has got to be absolutely beautiful and perfect from the outset. So we'll support you through that, and we'll help you get it published afterwards. We'll endeavour to get it published. The pass or failing of the programme isn't linked to whether you get it published or not. We mark it against our own criteria, and then if we think it's good enough, we'll take that forward for publication. So with a bit of luck, you get your full MBA certificate, and also you get that final cherry on the top of a published article, which again, when you're sitting in that waiting room, competing against everybody else, it's something really nice to put on the table in front of a potential employer.
That's great. Thanks for your time today, Matt.
Pleasure, Claire. Thank you.
If you have any further questions or you want to find out any more information on our MBA or any other of our courses, you can visit our website, arden.ac.uk.
Thank you.